In June of 2005, city officials dedicated a display in tribute to the life of one of the most prominent figures in the history of our country's civil rights movement. His name was Roy Wilkins. The commemorative mural is now part of a building that was renamed in his honor in 1984, the Roy Wilkins Auditorium, part of the River Center complex. Wilkins was born in 1901 in St. Louis, Missouri, the grandson of Mississippi slaves. After the death of his mother, Roy and his brother and sister were sent to live with an aunt and uncle in St. Paul. It was here in the Rondo neighborhood that the legacy of Roy Wilkins began. He had fond memories of St. Paul. As a child, Roy played with white and black children and attended an integrated school. This upbringing deeply influenced him, as he later wrote in his autobiography. At first, color doesn't mean very much to little children, black or white. Only as they grow older and absorb poisons from adults does color begin to blind them. Blacks and whites alike are susceptible to this sad change. In 1923, he graduated with a sociology degree from the University of Minnesota and worked as a journalist, writing and editing for the Minnesota Daily and newspapers with a black readership, like the St. Paul Appeal and the Kansas City Call. From 1931 to 1977, Wilkins was active in the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. He served as executive secretary of the organization from 1955 to 1977, overseeing 250,000 members during some of the most tumultuous years of the civil rights movement. Often called the father of civil rights, Wilkins took part in the civil rights marches of the 60s and helped pass landmark pieces of legislation, including the Voting Rights Act, the Fair Housing Act, and the Civil Rights Act. He was an advisor to 4 U.S. presidents, working especially closely with Lyndon Johnson, who awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1967. Another monument to Roy Wilkins is found on the grounds of our state capitol. Artist Curtis Patterson made 46 obelisks rising from the ground and spiraling outward to represent each year that Wilkins worked with the NAACP. As civil rights achievements grew through the years, so did the pillars, ultimately breaking through the walls representing the barriers of racial segregation. Roy Wilkins died in 1981. The part he played in the struggle to gain civil rights for all people is remembered for his persistence and hard work, always accomplishing his goals through peaceful and legal means.